Hello everyone, this is Betty of Betty Plays Games, and welcome back to Dwarf Fortress, I think the 5th episode. We left off having just finished the walls, well, almost finished. There's a spot there I didn't see. Getting the storeroom dug out, which, let me fix this little spot here that I missed. And getting the layout for the crafting section set up. But we also got migrants in right here. And it looks like just 2, but this gives us a chance to show off Dwarf Therapist. So let me get that set up. And here we see Dwarf Therapist. We have custom professions over here, which I'll go over those later. I have it set to migration wave, but you can set it to age, caste, current job, goals, happiness, and so on and so forth. You can also see other things, like you can see the attributes, see what their stats are, their military skill, as well as kills, and if they have equipment or not. Excuse me. You can also see the animals and their skills, and if they've been caged or gelded or set them up for butchery. But right now, let's just get our 2 new migrants set up, as well as get nicknames for everybody. Now, nicknames, I like to take something they like and something their profession is, and kind of combine it so I kind of know who's who at a glance, or if a warning pops up of so-and-so did this, I can kind of guess, oh, okay, so this is what's going on. This person likes silver. So let's right click on her, set nickname, and Silver Spade. This person likes laminate, black bronze, and several other things. So let's just call them Bronze Spade. Now sometimes I do give nicknames that are just kind of for fun, like well, if one comes up, I'll kind of point it out. This is one of the miners, and they like computers, so computer pick. And this person likes iron, but don't really want to give them the nickname Iron Pick, so let's just give them the nickname Rock Hewer, because they have the higher mining. This is the skills level, and I think at 14 it's max, and if you go to 15 and beyond, you're basically considered a grandmaster or legendary kind of person for that. This is the doctor, so let's set them with a nickname Stitch, because they'll be stitching people back together. This person is the woodcutter / carpenter, and I think I'm gonna give him the nickname from a friend that likes Dwarf Fortress as well, or I think they do. I know they like dwarves, so throw it in. Because this person is also going to be part of the military. Well, all the dwarves are. The dwarves, they like to be able to drink, they like to be able to craft, and they like to be able to fight. And woodcutters, I think, get bonuses to axe fighting, so he is eventually going to be an axe fighter. And this person is so far the expedition leader, because they have the social skills that we gave them, and they're going to have to be dealing with a lot of junk, so let's call them Gear Grind. Okay, now let's look at the 2 new people. This person is a wax worker, which looks like that's all they've ever done and all they ever know. So we'll have to look at him in a second. This person is a craft store. So let's do right click on customization and go down to craft store. It shows right here what the effects are going to be once we hit this button to commit the changes. We've given them bone crafting, stone crafting, and wood crafting, and they already have, well, actually they have no skill in anything. Yeah, real useful there. But their highest moodable skill is craft dwarf, and moodable skill is whenever a mood takes over a dwarf, they want to craft something, and if they can't craft something, they'll go insane and either kill themselves or kill other people. It's really not very fun. So let's go ahead and get them started with craft dwarf, and let's give them the nickname. What's something they like brass, so brass chisel. And this person being a woodworker or wax worker, I think we could probably make them a wood shaper. Wait, no, waxworking isn't in wood shaping. What did I have in wood shaping? I'm not sure. Well, this actually just gives us a chance to look at over here of things we have and things we need. I think, now I remember what it was. Leatherworker. Leatherworking had waxworking, so, as well as tannery and, well, leatherworking. So let's sit in the nickname Rawhide. And now let's commit the changes, and there we see. All the changes have been committed. They have nicknames now, as well as the new classes, except for these 7. Now give those their own specific classes once we need them to be more focused. So let's switch back to Dwarf Fortress, and let's unpause. And because now we have a leatherworker, let's hit B or W and go down to the tanner's workshop, and they'll get a tannery set up. Let's get 4 as per usual. And let's also get them some beds made. So 2 beds, 2 doors, and let's also start getting the other things made. 2 cabinets and 2 coffers. And let's also get cabinets and coffers made for everybody else. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will make their rooms nicer, which will make them happier, and also will give them a place to put their belongings, because dwarves will eventually start collecting things, either gear or, you know, a favorite cup, or, well, anything that a dwarf might take a liking to, and it's usually something that they like themselves. Like if, say, the miner that likes iron enough, they might go and snag a iron bar to keep in their room. And right now they're kind of bouncing back and forth between things to mine out, which, like I said, the AI for them is a little odd at times. They don't go in a pattern, they just kind of go wherever they want. You can set up priorities in the designation, but I usually just kind of, at least for early on, and if nothing is really needed at the moment, I just kind of let them do their own thing. Okay, now let's get a few things for the walls set up. So I'm going to hit B, Shift C, and upstairs. Let's build the upstairs, and then a downstairs right here. And it looks like also we missed a downstairs here. So let's get that set up there. And let's also start getting the fortifications made. These will be what our archers will hide behind to, well, not get shot by enemy archers. So let's get that there. And this also will help keep enemies from climbing the walls and killing everybody. Now, we're going to have to do a little trickery because, as I said before, they can do diagonal movements, and that even means climbing up here, or like say like climbing up here and then kind of diagonally jumping over there. So we're going to put temporary floors there so that they could know. That was the wrong thing right there. So we're going to put temporary floors there for somebody to reach there, because they won't be able to reach there normally to be able to place the fortification. And then we're going to remove the floor and put a fortification back in its point. And we're also going to have to remove these walls temporarily to let them sit right there and get that, and then we'll have to put the wall back up. But it'll be worth it in the end to keep people we don't want not coming in. Well, it'll keep them out. And let's put a fortification there. Let's set a floor there so we can get that done up. Another floor here. And another floor here, just to get things rolling along. And then fortifications. Once we get a proper stone industry up, it might be a good idea to replace all the wood walls with stone, because, well, certain things can destroy the walls, I think. Like if you run into, like I say, a dragon, I think they can set the walls on fire, which is not fun for anybody. Especially not the people trapped inside the walls. So, while our miners continue to mine, our people continue to set the walls. And that's, instead of just having these 2 points as the points to get up and down the walls, let's have an upstairs here, and upstairs here, and up and downstairs. Well, once that gets finished there, we'll put one there, and downstairs here. Okay. Let's go see how our miners are doing. And they're still kind of just running around doing whatever the hell they want. But our mason is getting things made. So that might slow down the mining a little bit, but it'll be worth it in the end. And let's get a up and down stairs there. And that's not ready for that there. let's get these sections of the walls removed so the parts that we need set up will be set up. I think this is coming along pretty nicely. Let's get a few trees cleared out of the way just so we don't have to worry about enemies climbing them and coming in and killing everybody. But yes, right here, whenever we have archers, they'll be stationed on the walls and they'll be able to fire over the fortifications, and anything coming in at them has a chance to be blocked by the fortification, so our dwarves don't get shot. And as I said, it blocks climbing, so enemies won't be able to just climb up the walls and hop in. The only bad part is over here, enemies that are standing up here can fire down on our dwarves, which might pose a problem, which means we might eventually, in time, scale the area up here back some, so that enemies will have to come down to this level to be able to fire more equally, which gives our archers the advantage of being behind fortifications. And our dwarves are making use of these stairs pretty nicely, instead of having to run all the way over here or to over here, and then going downstairs, and then run over to this stair, and then going down. Having several access points to the walls is always good, because it helps you get some doors down off the wall, as well as move your doors around a lot easier. So in case, like say, enemies were over here and then something was trying to hop the gap or try to get over here, they, if we sent our doors from over here to over here, they'd have to, make a pretty big trip. And speaking of that gap, let's give it one more space back, just to be safe. It's better safe than sorry in this game, because this game is very unforgiving to any sort of mistake. Okay, let's go look at the area down here. They're clearing out a good bit of it. It's still a little spastic, but you just have to let the dwarves do their stuff. Let's see, did the beds get made? Yes, the beds get made. So let's build a bed and put it there. And one there. Let's see, doors made? Yes, the doors are made. We'll put the coffers and cabinets in later on. Right now, let's just make sure those dwarves have a bed. And all this red stuff here is like, hazelnuts, the leaves and such. It looks like we might be getting close to fall, because the leaves are falling, and it kind of taints, I won't say taint, but tints the ground with the, yep, here we are. We're now in autumn.
Is autumn.
fortifications are almost done. So far, things are looking pretty good. Let's get those 2 walls we had to take down back up. And sorry if you're hearing dogs bark. Let's get these temporary floors out of the way. And let's get our fortifications up in these gaps now. And let's get this last little stepstone pulled out. Let's get the last of the fortifications assigned in. Also, so we don't forget, get the spots that need channeled marked down. And there we go. The walls will be completely enclosed, and yep, there we go. So whenever we get the gates set up, things we'll be able to seal ourselves off if anything ever happens. It looks like our miners are going for a drink. And speaking of drinks, let's get some drinks made because we are almost out of drinks. And as you can see there, the one Dwarf ran got a pump helmet, he got a barrel, and he's now brewing. And the good thing about brewing is, well, the same with eating, that the seed of a plump helmet will be left behind, so we can get more planting. And a trade depot, or a trade caravan has arrived, and we don't have a trade depot. So let's hit B, shift D for a trade depot. And let's put it right here for the moment. And this is, yep, the outpost liaison. That's the diplomat from the mountain homes. And they will be coming to talk to the expedition leader. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I am your liaison from the mountain homes. Let's discuss your situation. There's much to share. Information added to the civilization world's info. So more info has been given to us. Let's begin discussions. We can't really afford anything at the moment, so asking for something now would be a little off because we kind of don't really know what we'll need later on, but it is a good idea to get some things up, like a little bit of priority in the plump helmets and pigtails and cave wheat. There's different levels of priority. There's the gray all the way over here, which is will pay basic base price. So like say if something's 100, we'll pay only 100 for it. But you push it over 1 and it's like, okay, well we'll offer 110 for it. And one lower we'll offer 120 for it. A little further we'll offer 130 for it. And all the way to the max we'll offer 150 for it. So let's get some priority set to all the seeds that we'll need there. We don't need anvils, we don't need weapons. Training weapons we can make later on, same with bolts. Trap components, we don't have any traps needing anything at the moment. We don't need picks or bodywear, headwear, handwear, footwear, we don't need any of that. Instruments we'll make our own later. But animals, we'll need to figure out what kind of animals we want. Like let's say we'll pay a little bit extra for a cow and a little bit extra for a bull so we can have meat and milk from cows, and as well as hide from ones we butcher. Same with rams and ewes, and sows and boars, nanny goats, billy goats, hens, roosters, ducks, drakes. We have the water buffalo cow. Let's offer a little bit for a bull just in case they bring it, and we can have, instead of having cows, we can have water buffalo. Goose and gander, and guinea hen and guinea cock, peahen and peacock, and turkey hen and turkey gobbler. So this way, this is a good spread of animals that we'll pay extra for. The bird types will lay eggs that we can use for food and cooking. The other animals will offer milk and meat and hides in case they're butchered, and things like say the ram and the ewe, they have wool, which we can turn into yarn. Which there are 3 types of cloth in the game. There are rope reed, there's fiber cloth, which is like rope reeds, and I forget what the above ground version of it is, but it's basically I guess kind of like a hemp cloth maybe or something. The yarn cloth, which is made out of wool and like say alpaca and like llama wool and such. And then there's silk, which silk is only gained by having spiders, and in this game all the spiders are giants, which is horrifying. There we go. We don't need drinks, cheeses, powder. Let's offer a little extra for gypsum powder, or plaster. Gypsum plaster is used for making casts. So, say a dwarf breaks his arm, the only thing they could normally do for it would be a splint, but if you put which the splints hinder movement some. But if you have gypsum plaster, they make a cast out of it, which means the hindrance is less, impactful. So like say instead of, only having, losing about 10% strength in the arm, they'd only lose like say 5. We don't need any extracts, meats, fish, plants, garden vegetables or stones, cages, bags we don't need. And it looks like, see, brown recluse spider silk bag, giant cave spider bags, and cave spider bags. These are all, if you can capture them, they're good because you can use them to farm silk. But if you can't capture them, they can and will mess your dwarves up really bad. There's plant fibers and silk, plant threads and silk threads. There's water flasks, we don't need any of that. Sand, glass, miscellaneous, bucket splints. We seem to be good right there, so we'll just offer extra for some animals and some seeds. let's look over the documents. Like, let's look at seeds. Yeah, well, you know, hear how it's saying like sandstone block is 100 dwarf bucks. Well, we're offering more for plum pellets. See, the spawn, so we'll pay like 152. So we're paying a marked up price for that. But it's stuff we'll need later. Okay, finished looking over the stuff. Now this right here is what the mountain homes need. They're paying extra for battle axes, tools, leg wear. They're actually paying a lot for leg wear. Rings, leather water skins. They're paying a lot for that too. Bars, anvils, they'll pay a lot for that. Thread, amulets, and figurines. So it looks like next year, if we want to make a ton of money, which you can't really keep the money, you just kind of use it for like bartering and exchange stuff. So if we made like a bunch of legwear, they'd be paying, we could trade a lot more for it. For a few legwears, then we would say, you know, a regular like, you know, little like totem or something. Okay. So the liaison is done for right now, as well as all that stuff there. We've got our walls set up, and we've got the channeling spots set up for later on. Our miners are still mining at random spastic points. And I think we'll pause for right now and continue in the next episode. Hopefully the next episode the miners finish up their stuff, because we'll definitely need to get workstations set up soon, because if a dwarf goes into a mood, they'll need a workstation to claim, and if they don't have one, they'll go insane. And if we don't have the stuff that they need to make whatever they're wanting to make, they'll go insane. Well, thank you for joining me. I hope to see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.